Hi, this is Steve Garland, head wrestling coach at the University of Virginia, giving my weekly video newsletter, Virginia Wrestling Video Newsletter. Quick recap. First topic is a recap of the weekend. We had a good win on Friday against Gardner-Webb. We wrestled for the first time ever at the Aquatic and Fitness Center, right across the street from the football stadium in the freshman dorms. It was a really neat environment, and really appreciative. I wanted to thank facilities and and the Aquatic and Fitness Center people, the administration over there, for allowing this all to happen and for helping us make it happen. It was a pretty cool experience for us, and so thank you to all who came out as well. Really neat to see every chair filled up, and that was great for our guys. And just a recap of the match, right off the bat, we had our 1-2 punch finally in the lineup. And I say finally because Jack got hurt in the first tournament, and so we finally had Louis Hayes and Jack Mueller back-to-back, which we feel like is about as awesome a kickstart as you can get to any dual meet. Louis Hayes right off the bat lights up the crowd, 2 takedowns, and then a fall, then a back points, bar arm half, and then rolls it through a second time and pins him. So I think he was up about 8-0 or not 10-0 before he got the fall. It was awesome. Kind of got us, again, right off the bat, got us started in the right direction. And Jack comes out, gets 2 takedowns himself, goes into a series, what we call a head turk, and got a technical fall fast. So he won, I believe, 15-0 in the first period. And again, just sort of that momentum. Okay, now we're rolling. And then at 41, we got taken down first right off the bat in the first, I think, 6 seconds of the match and ridden the whole first period. So we're down 3-0. Martino comes back, shot. I think I counted 6 shots he was in on, maybe more, but that's what I recall. And he didn't finish. And so the technical piece of that is actually fairly simple to break down, is we have to protect our heels, out the back door finishes, and we need to do a better job finishing. But we loved that you always pick up the positive from any situation, and the positive was that was the most we've seen him attack and the most offensive weapons we've seen him display the entire year. So it was good. It was bad that he lost, but it was good that he was attacking it and shooting. And so, really good match there, and give credit to the Gardner-Webb wrestler, who's a good wrestler, for scrambling out of those takedowns every time too. 149, we won by bonus points with Sam Crevis. He got out to a huge lead. I think he was up 13-1. Couldn't finish off the tech, but ended up, especially in the first 2 periods, really wrestling like he's capable of. And then at 157, we wrestled their best guy, a young man who I think is really solid, by the name of Marinelli. He's good. He's good. And we put Fred Green in. Fred Green's a transfer from Boise State who I've talked about fondly before. He's one of the greatest, nicest, most awesome kids you'll ever meet. As a matter of fact, we've gotten really close off the mat doing things together on Sunday and some other stuff. And he's just an awesome kid. Throughout the recruiting process, we got really close. And he's a guy that we hadn't gotten to see do anything yet because he's recovering from surgery. So he hadn't gotten a chance to wrestle preseason. He hadn't gotten a chance to get those matches in that his teammates had. And so we put him in at 157 to see what he could do and to give him that shot. And honestly, it was only 4. I think it was only 4 live practices he's had before going out there, and it showed. I mean, he wasn't anywhere near clicking because he's first time down the weight in, since last March. And first live press, the fifth time he's gone live in all that time span. So he obviously was rusty and was a step behind, and the score reflected, and he lost big there. But he's a guy that we still believe in and think that has a bright future ahead. 165. Andrew Atkinson, our captain, did a great job of sort of getting us right back on track. Gets a fall, takedown, back points, and right to a fall. And again, I think that was a huge momentum thing for our team. And Will Shaney won at 174. He was able to get actually, it was a closer match than he thought or we thought was going to happen. But Shaney has been faithfully making 174, and he cuts a ton of weight. He's a huge 74-pounder, and I think that caught up to him a little bit physiologically. Mentally he was able to gut out the win, but physiologically it caught up to him. But he's undefeated on the season still and doing great, and nationally ranked 18th in the country in the latest ranking. So Shaney keeps climbing, and he's, again, a guy that we think is probably made the biggest jumps of anybody on our team technically. 184, Chance McClure, who's been our starter, was injured, and so we put in Jack Walsh, and Jack's a really neat story. We got Jack late a couple years ago in the recruiting process from Georgia, and Jack, again, is much like I said about Fred, he's one of the greatest kids character-wise, maturity-wise you'll ever meet, and we love him, and we were excited for him. His teammates were so pumped for him to wrestle because he hadn't wrestled. That was his first varsity match, and they were all going nuts. I mean, it was one of the cooler parts of the dual meet to look over and see Mueller and all his buddies all cheering for him and going crazy, and he lost a very close match late in the third, but it was just really fun to see him step up for his team like that. 197, J.L.O., we thought, even though the score was only about 5-0 or 6-1 or something like that, we thought that he wrestled really well. He was on the attack the whole match. He was in on a ton of shots, and that's what we want from our guys. We want our guys being the aggressor. We want our guys trying to score points. We want them taking off, using their offensive weapons, and we saw them do that, so that was great. And then heavyweight, I think Tyler Love wrestled fantastic. Tyler Love is if you look at the Paulson system from hand fighting and what we've been working on in the room, he's exemplifying that as good or better than anybody on the team. He's going out, he's working on what he's been learning all week, and then he's applying it to live wrestling, which is really hard to do in our world. It's easy peasy to do something in the room. As a matter of fact, one of the biggest misconceptions I get with parents is, well, my son says he beats him in the room, or my son says he's doing great in the room. Well, the reality is the room doesn't mean a whole hill of beans. Your effort matters, but the result in the room doesn't mean anything. If anybody's actually ever really competed, like in a real match with a real whistle and a real ref and real nerves and a real opponent, it's a lot different than practice. And so, completely different as a matter of fact. And so what we're excited about with Tyler is the stuff he's doing in the room, he's now applying to a real situation. And that's cool, because that's a coachable guy. And we think he's made some big gains for us as well. And his body looks great, and his conditioning looks great. So, excited for him as well. So it was a really good duel meet. I think the final score was 30-12 maybe, something like that. I don't know, but I know it was a good effort from our guys, and we were really excited to get that win on the board. Now, moving forward, the second thing I want to talk to you about is Missouri this weekend. Sunday, this coming Sunday, Memorial Gymnasium. We're not going to be at the AUC. We're going to be back to our original home, our normal home, Memorial Gymnasium. We need to pack this place where there's no space available. We need to have everybody in there. Missouri is one of the top teams in the nation. I believe they're ranked 4th or 5th in the country. They are a phenomenal program. They've been a phenomenal program for the better part of the last 15 years. They're coached by arguably one of the best coaches in the country, in Brian Smith. Their associate head coach is Alex Clemson, was with me for 4 years here at Virginia, so we know him and he knows us very well. And it's just going to be really exciting and a phenomenal opportunity for you, the fans, to see great wrestling and also to support our team and our guys to get sized up and match up against some of the best competition on the planet. So we're so excited. Please get there. Memorial Gymnasium this Sunday, 1 p.m. Weigh-ins are at 12. Wrestling will start at 1 o'clock, and we need all the help we can get. We'll see you there. Go Hoops.